Most of you probably know the famous landmark in San Francisco, California, the Golden Gate Bridge, but maybe not many of you know the story, or at least I didn't know, about the construction of the bridge and the background story to it. And once when I heard this story, it had a pretty big impact in my life. So let me set it up a little bit for you. I was working at an elementary school, and one day I had a student in grade 5 or 6, I don't quite remember, it was a long time ago. And he came up to me and asked me, right out of the blue, "Teacher, do you believe in God?" And I said, "Yeah, I do." And then he followed up with the magic question, "Why?" And, I could have fired off some typical responses to him, but I chose not to. And because of that, crickets and stares. I really didn't have anything to fire back at him. And I was left with saying, I'll get back to you on that. I don't know if I ever did get back to the student. I'm guessing I didn't, or I probably would remember it. Anyway, so what does that have to do with the Golden Gate Bridge? Well, a number of years ago, I heard of the story about the construction of the Golden Gate Bridge and how they had a huge issue during the construction of it. And that is, they had a problem with people falling off the bridge, and they got to the point where it was such a big deal that they said, "Listen, we have to address this issue." And they came up with this solution. They constructed a netting for the underbelly of the bridge so that when the workers did fall off, they would land onto this netting. Something like what you'd see, at the circus with the trapeze, and when they mess up, they just fall onto the net. Well, this turned out to be a huge success for obvious reasons. Whenever the workers fell off the bridge, they just land on the net, and in a few short moments, they'd be back up on the bridge working away. But there was something else that they did not expect to happen, and that was this, that the bridge ended up being finished way ahead of time. They finished the bridge much earlier than expected. Why was this? It was because the workers began to walk around on the bridge with a level of confidence that they never had before, because they were tiptoeing around on top of the bridge, kind of like walking on eggshells, I'm guessing, because they were worried they were going to fall. But now they knew that if they did fall, they would just fall onto this net. How does this apply to the student's question that he asked me years ago? Well, I didn't have the answer for him at that time, but now I do. And since then, I've had similar conversations with people, and I've shared this with them, and it really seemed to resonate with them. And that's this, that whenever we go through difficulties in life, whenever life seems to throw its hard balls at us, whether it's through a death in the family. Personally, a month ago, I just flew home for my father's funeral. Whether it's being out of work, health issues, mental issues, going through new chapters in your life, whatever the case may be, the fact that you know that God has this netting for us in our life, that if we turn to Him, He can give us the strength to get through it. I mean, look at me. I'm just starting this YouTube, not really sure what I'm doing, but I know that I've shared this story with a few other people, and it really resonated with them. And I felt like maybe I should put this on YouTube. And this is a kind of confidence or assurance that I began to experience in my life, that no matter what happens, it's not to say that we're not going to have hard times, but that when we do, we have this netting. Now, this netting goes in conjunction with living an upright life. It's not like we can just live a life however we want. A number of years ago, I heard of the saying, "Pray but paddle to shore." We have to pray, but we also have to do the hard work. Sometimes in life, we have to take responsibility for ourselves and actually pray and paddle to shore. And if you think about it, the Bible says that God created everything that we can see within 6 days. And if He's taken that much effort and thought into that, how much more effort does He take in, with us, with His children that He has created, that He has designed? So I encourage you that if this story resonates with you, that you will also verbally share it with someone in your circle, because it may connect to them. It may have profound effects on them, like it has with my life. Hope you guys have a good day, and I'll catch you around.